multi-shot, and AoE on impact. Yes! Hey guys, welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar, and today we're going to be discussing the Incarnon Despair, the secondary prone weapon that is about to get an Incarnon adapter in week 6. Now, the highlight for week 6 is definitely the Dread. Everybody wants to see what that one is capable of, and we already went through the data mined information for that one. And if you want to see it, look at the cards right now. That said, I believe that the Despair has the possibility to be the dark horse in this case. Either that or the Zylok. Essentially, we're going to be getting 3 range weapons. We're going to be getting the Dread, the Despair, and the Zylok. 2 melee weapons, the Hate, and the Cyber. How many of you guys are going to go for the Cyber? Now, honestly, let me know in the chat. Before we get into the actual data, please bear in mind this is data mined information. It is not final. It is subject to change, and by all intents and purposes, it could theoretically be totally wrong. Accuracy is going to be 10, we don't really care all that much about it. Critical chance got a massive increase from 16% all the way to 30, and the critical multiplier as well used to be 1.6 for the normal form. It's going to go up to 3.0x, and we're talking about base stats here, which is absolutely crazy. Ammo remains to be seen, but the fire rate did see a bit of a hit. It used to be 3.3, and now it is 3.0. Noise alarming as before. Oh no, wait. It was not noise alarming, this was a kunai, a dagger throw and all whatnot. It used to be silent and now it's alarming. A reload on 2 seconds, which I don't believe is relevant simply because we are going to be using this one hopefully primarily in its incarnate form, and the Riven disposition will be stuck at 1.3. Now, if you want to buy a Riven, this would definitely be the time before prices have a chance to explode. Obviously, this will depend on how good the weapon is. Status chance also saw a bit of an increase from 16% to 20%. As for the damage layout, this was a bit surprising to me in the sense that they didn't really do anything. It went from 58 to 60, and the IPS layout is basically the same with the same priority on puncture. And here's the thing when it comes to puncture priority. It's fantastic as contact damage when you actually make contact with a target, because this one deals extra damage to heavily armored targets, which is highly valuable, but if we don't have a way to apply slash raw damage, then it's not going to be scaling all that well. How do we apply slash with a secondary weapon? Either the slash value needs to be high along with its status chance, or we get some impact procs. Impact procs, judging by the damage layout, IPS, is the smallest amount, so we're not going to be getting a whole lot of impacts from there, but there still is the possibility of the impact forced proc, as in the projectile or whatever this will be, having a guaranteed impact. If that is the case, we're going to be able to go for hemorrhage, was the secondary impact the slash mod, I forget. And that's how you get to apply some slash. As for viral procs, you can use a secondary to apply that, or the Panzerful Profiler, or if you're going Steel Path Circuit, and I highly recommend that you do because it's absolutely amazing, the best Steel Path mode in the game, then you want to build viral on the weapon and make sure that the weapon can stand on its own 2 feet. You don't need a gazillion viral procs, but you will need a few to get the most out of slash. Again, this is speculation at this point because we don't know exactly if this impact will have force procs or not. What we do know is that it's no longer silent, so I'm expecting something a bit more spectacular, let's say. As for the actual data mine talents, at tier 1 you get yourself on hit multi-shot and ammo efficiency increased to a maximum of effect resets on weapon swap. Multi-shot and ammo efficiency transfers to the next Y shots with primary weapon on swap if move speed is above Z. Okay, this one reads a little bit funny. Multi-shot and ammo efficiency, you got that part right on, maximum of X, period, that's it. The next part is the actual interesting part. Resets on weapon swap, but multi-shot and ammo efficiency transfers to the next Y shots with primary weapon on swap, if move speed above. My question is, does that mean that we are gonna be getting that benefit? Will that buff transfer to the primary weapon? Because that would be absolutely insane. We get to use our secondary to buff our primary. Digital Extremes has tried to get us to use our entire arsenal. I'm not one of those players. I usually kind of hone in on a single weapon and use that one for the large majority of the mission. So I hone in on either a primary or a secondary, or if I feel like a monkey, I go and E-spam, no problem whatsoever. Very interesting and potentially a very powerful talent. Every time multi-shot is involved, it can be very crazy. Next option, tier B, you got yourself kunai have homing abilities and split into 2 new kunai on impact. Deal 2 times the damage to enemies below 50% with active channel ability. Of course, they had to ruin it with this one. The channeled ability trigger hasn't really worked all that fantastic. There's a lot of channeled abilities in Warframe, and not all of them drain energy, and not all of them drain energy consistency. This specific trigger seems to like only the ones that are capable of draining energy consistently. If you don't have something like that, it works some of the time or none of the time. It's a bit iffy. I have not seen anything from the developer on this one. I'm pretty sure this is not the way it's supposed to work, but right now the dev has bigger fish to fry, so we're gonna have to wait on a fix for this one. Fantastic options. Honestly, out of all the Incarnon weapons I've seen so far, these are the talents that get me the most excited, because essentially it changes the gameplay, the functionality of a weapon, which is a whole lot more interesting than, yay, more crit and more critical damage and more multi-shot. Okay, awesome. Tier 2. Now, Tier 2 is the usability tree, and by all intents and purposes is actually Tier 3, because the first one just enables the transformation. Low FOV. A lot of you guys hate plus zoom in Warframe, right? You don't like the zoom, you want it to be gone. This might help you with that. Low FOV, right? So it goes like this. It could actually mean plus zoom, but I don't think they would do that to you. Why would they do it when I'm pretty sure they know that most players don't really enjoy the whole plus zoom in Warframe? Most, not all. Projectile speed, yes! Okay, so if the Incarnon form is also a projectile, this one should help with both, if not just for the standard form. Reload speed. Reload speed I feel is a bit underappreciated simply because, yay, I'm gonna be playing just an Incarnon form, unless it's a Fellark's kind of Incarnon weapon, in which case you're gonna need the reload speed. But reload speed, as you should know by this point, also affects the transformation of the weapon, the speed at which it transforms, and therefore can make for a bit more streamlined gameplay. Tier 3 first option with Dread and Hate equipped. Check these talents out, man. Multi-shot and AoE on impact. Yes! This is what I'm talking about. This is what I like to see from Incarnon weapons. Check this out. So you gotta go full stalkery and all whatnot. And saying this out loud really sounded weird, but that's not important. What is important? Multi-shot and AoE on impact. Which leads me to believe, and considering that the stats we have, and you can see on your screen right now, it's not gonna be an AoE weapon. And I know a lot of you guys simply want everything to be AoE. But it can transform into AoE if you got the Dread and the Hate, and it's multi-shot and AoE on impact. So it's not something like headshot or something hard to do. You just can aim at the ground, for example, and theoretically you should still be getting the multi-shot and the area of effect. How big, how much, that kind of thing remains to be seen, but this is definitely interesting. Keep in mind that you're not going to be able to test these talents on week 1. Week 1, you're going to be getting yourself 2 Incarnon adapters per account, so you need all 3 to activate these buffs. And you know what? The Dread also has something similar that relies on you having the other weapons, the Despair and the Hate. Again, I'll link you in the card somewhere if you want to see the Dread talents as well. Next one, balance, crit, and status chance. This is what I mean. This is what it's just, while it may be effective, boosting the base multipliers of a weapon, no questions about it, the best buff that you can give a weapon, in Warframe at least, they're not all that exciting. More crit, more status chance. Hoorah! Reload from empty increases fire rate by X for Y seconds. Again, a little bit on the iffy side. Reload from empty should only be applying to the base form of the Despair. And I do believe, my friends, that is pretty much it. I gotta be honest, I am excited for this weapon, I am excited for these talents, and I'm hoping to see something really crazy. Here's the deal. It doesn't need to be the best weapon in the game. It doesn't need to shred an entire room in a single throw. It just needs to be, subjectively speaking, cool. And I love, again, what they did with the whole combining all these Stalker weapons underneath one roof. Can you imagine getting the Stalker with these? That would be insane. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, channel, subscribe only if you enjoy the content. If you got any feedback for me, I would love to read it in the comment section down below. Also in the comment section down below if you want to suggest any particular type of content. Link in the cards right now for more awesome Warframe content. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.